Welcome back, guys. Got a lot to cover here today. Going to go over the increasing days on market we're seeing across Florida and the Southwest region. Also want to cover some new stuff that the National Association of Realtors has just put out. We got some new things coming to the MLS. As you guys know, they shook that up on us not too long ago. While I was starting the video, I came across this vacant lot. As you can see, this is waterfront here in Punta Gorda Isles. It's actually completely cleared out, and it's in a great location. It's got a seawall, got a dock. As you can see, that's Charlotte Harbor right there. So you get in the boat and you're gone, basically. I'll show you the rest of the waterway down there. And I was wondering what they were asking, and they had a little info box here. They're asking $950 on this bad boy. And I'll try to pull it up on the map for you. You guys let me know what you think. All right, guys, so I pulled up this lot on Google Earth, and I kind of suspected there was a house here at one point. Usually don't see lots cleared like that, and there was. So this house is gone. That's kind of crazy. I'll give you an idea just where it's located. You can see this is the Peace River, Charlotte Harbor, Punta Gorda. And if you want to know in the greater state of Florida where it is, it's down there. But as you guys can see here, home is now gone. Unimproved land, $950,000. For some reason, Zillow's got this estimate at $557,000. And I generally don't see estimates for land, so that's a little strange. 93 views, 1 save, 60 days on Zillow. Well, that kind of, you gotta feel like maybe that shows me maybe it is a bit steep. I don't know. I'd be lying to you guys if I said I sold a lot of waterfront land in Punta Gorda, but its estimate's $557,000. They were thinking at one point it was $1.1 million, but now they've kind of got it floating down here in the 500s. Interesting. So listed for $950,000. The interesting thing is sold in June of 2024 for $550,000. Was the house there though? I have to check. Yes, according to the MLS, this was a 2,600 square foot house that sold for $550,000. Let's take a look at some photos of this bad boy. A little courtyard. Okay, so I've got to assume that this was obviously not purchased with the intent to demolish. Maybe it was. I don't know. I think Milton or Helene probably did this in. I can't really tell when this got taken out. But yeah, this place sold less than a year ago with the house on it for $550,000. Now the house is gone and the land is $950,000. Man, crazy stuff going on down here. And it looks like that house was actually originally listed for $900,000. So it's listed now for more than it was with the house on it. Very interesting. There's going to be a couple more houses you'll see here listed that I might check. Some of these are crazy. And guys, real quick before we continue, if you find this content entertaining or valuable in any way, I would really appreciate it if you could consider subscribing to the channel. Really helps me out immensely. Maybe giving this video a like if you enjoyed it. I'm going to peek over this canal here, kind of give you a shot of what's going on the seawall they're working on. We're going to zoom that guy out a little bit. So I don't know, people don't normally get to see these being worked on, so I thought it'd be cool. The days on market, as you guys know, going up across the state, I have been showing specifically pool homes from Venice to Bonita Beach in the previous couple weeks. Been showing a lot of pool homes. There's a lot of them out there. And as you guys know, we're seeing price reductions. We're seeing price drops, but some of them are still way off. I mean, I'm seeing price drops. Listings I'm showing being advertised as huge price drop, and I pull up, it's a $500,000 listing. I pull up the previous price. They dropped $15,000. I don't know if that's a huge price drop on $500,000, guys. I showed one, I want to say it was $530,000, and my people were not interested in it. But, as soon as I'm leaving these showings, generally agents are following up with me right away, which I do as well on my listings, asking, hey, what do they think? And I'm saying, listen, price isn't really working. So they said, well, we're doing a price drop. We just wanted to let you know. I said, okay, you're at $530. What are you dropping the price to? $527.5. I almost laughed at them. I didn't even know what to say. Oh, are you kidding me? What does that even do? On a $530,000 house, you want to drop the price $2,500? And this thing has been on the market for a while. So it's not hard to see why the days on market is increasing. in the way it is, especially around Punta Gorda, all of Southwest Florida, the state as a whole. You guys know, if you saw my data video, you kind of know what the numbers look like there. Closed sales down mostly across the entire state. Sarasota holding up for single family, okay. Condos getting crushed, but Sarasota County actually taking 86 days to get a home under contract there. Lee County, 95 days. Charlotte County, 105 days. So, and if you take, again, guys, that's countywide. If you drill down into specific areas like Punta Gorda, you're going to get a different number. Like South Gulf Cove, for instance, average days on market in South Gulf Cove before you get the home sold now is 141 days. That's getting close to 5 months. So if you're listing in South Gulf Cove, expect to see potentially 5 months on the market there. You know, that's pretty high. Statewide, only 54 days on average to sell your house in the state of Florida. And this big guy behind me is for sale as well. And I think I'm going to pull that up and take a look online. What's this guy going for? As I disrupt all these workers here working on this other house. What's this idiot doing with the camera? Sorry, guys. All right, let's take a look at this big boy. $3.49 million, not out of the range for where it is. I mean, it's, you know, you're just not going to get views like that. Price cut recently, $210,000. I'd like to know, how many days on market are we here before we get started? 102 days on market. All right, what do we got going on here? Well, we saw that when I was walking by. Ooh, that's nice. Man, what a view. Wow, look at the size of this place. Crikey, look at the size of her. I'm sorry. If you don't know who Steve Irwin was, you probably won't get that, but I'm feeling cheesy today. Man, this thing is enormous. 5,127 square feet, 4 bed, 5 baths. That's a great place to wash dishes if you got to do it. I mean, it's, you know, I would think that the kitchen would be a little more grand in there, but it's got a great view. It's got a nice view of the house, too. All right, let's take a look at the price history on this bad boy. So, okay, so this is the first price drop. They started at $3.7 million. They're at $3.49. They bought it last year for $2.9. That's a steep jump to 3.7. Wow, wasn't even listed a year later. It's been listed since December, so interesting. 2012 it sold for $770. Now that's the land, guys. That's the land, because this house was built in 2014. So, ooh, that's super interesting. Let's take a look at this. Land originally sells in 2002 for almost $500K. Then sells in 2005 for 3 times that, almost $1.5 million. 7 years later, sells for $770,000. That's just the vacant land. Then obviously, you know, whoever bought it in 2012 built the house on it, held on to it, and sold it. Sold for 2.9 in 2024. Now it's back up. Whew, interesting. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this one. We'll get back to the video. Now, some other interesting developments. While I was down in Bonita Beach, again, showing homes to friends of the channel, they were actually able to view homes that they had originally seen again in October. So these homes have been listed, in some cases, well over a year down there. We're talking, $2 to $3 million price range on the water in Bonita Beach, which is still getting cleaned up, still dealing with the aftermath of Milton and Helene. But, we were looking at some of these places in October, and they're still on the market. Now, guys, yes, $2 million, $3 million houses do tend to take a little longer to sell, though. Like I've mentioned before, the luxury market holding up a lot better than stuff below it. That's still, if I can show the same house twice in 6 months, again, we come back to that price. And some of them decreased, some of them haven't. The agents are pretty honest with you about it at this point. There's not much you could say when it's been on the market for 6 months. Obviously when you're on the water somewhere down here, the big concern, if you're financing, or really even if you're not financing, is, and you're going to carry homeowners insurance, is what the price is. And what I'm seeing being utilized a lot now that we haven't previously done before, is there is actually an addendum to our residential as-is contract that allows you to put in a clause that states, if your homeowner's insurance is higher than whatever number you say you're like, I don't want to pay more than $4,000 for homeowners or $4,000 for flood, you can actually put that in a contract and make that a contingency. That if you can't find coverage for something that you feel is affordable within a reasonable time, you're able to generally back out of that contract and get your deposit back. And I'm seeing it utilized more and more. It's especially if there's going to be a tight inspection period. If you're going to get caught up in a 5 to 7 day inspection period, it's kind of hard to get accurate insurance quotes, because in that period you have to schedule the inspector. Usually the report takes a day, and if you get it, even if you get it done the next day, the day after you go under contract, it's still kind of cutting it close, in my opinion. If you have 5 or 7 days, you got to get the report back. You got to get the report to the insurance agent. The insurance agent's going to take a day or two to tell you what the insurance is going to be, and we're almost out of the inspection period. I've been trying to do 10-day inspections, but not a lot of people know that. You can actually put in basically a homeowner's insurance contingency, and I'm starting to see that utilized quite a bit here. So on to these new National Association of Realtor options for the MLS. What they're changing now is they're saying they're giving sellers more options. They're adding an option to withhold marketing your listing for a certain period of time to public sites. So if you're a listing agent, and I don't know why you'd want to do this in this market, but I could see why you'd want to do it in others. So we got another house for sale here. It's like 4 or 5 on this block. You're going to, as the seller, be allowed to say, hey, I only want you and your brokerage to be able to advertise this listing for a certain period of time. I don't want it out there publicly. Anyone who's on the MLS will still be able to see it, but they don't want to syndicate it. Now, according to what they're saying, their information, agents will still be able to market properties on their websites and things like that. But from the way I understand it, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, they won't go out to Zillow or other sites like that. It'll be contained into the MLS, which, realistically gives the listing agent more time to sell it. I don't know, again, in this market, why you would want to do that, why you would want to limit who's going to see your home or who it's going to be exposed to. But in hot markets, I could see people taking advantage of that and saying, okay, your brokerage is going to get 2 weeks ahead to sell it so we can keep it in-house, and you guys probably know why. But something like this, it's a lot. I don't know if it's the right play, but it's everyone's decision. They're giving people more options. So that's going to be, the seller's going to have to sign off on it. The agent can't just decide to do that themselves. They need permission from the seller to do it. But, it's just things are changing all across the board. You guys know we had the buyer's agents brokerage and commission things going on. Now there's this where you can withhold listings. I don't know. Who knows what's next? I have no idea. I'm waiting to see. And a quick update on the rental market, guys. I think you asked me that. I don't track it statewide, but I'd assume, I do track Southwest Florida. And from what I see, it's pretty similar. There's just so many rental listings here still. It's insane. And they're still opening complexes. There's stuff still being built. We have one complex coming in here right on the county line with Northport that I took a look at the starting rents for 2 bedrooms. We're talking like 1,200 square foot units, like $2,500. If you want a 3-bedroom, they won't even tell you what the price is online. You got to call. I heard it's going to be over $3,000, but who's rent? Where are you finding tenants? In Port Charlotte or Northport, for that matter. Even Venice is having problems that are going to be able to pay $3,000 a month for rent. First off, they want 3 times the rent, so you got to make $9,000. I don't know. And they're like, hey, we did the comps. I'm like, I don't think you did. I don't think you did. So we're going to see how those turn out. Rental market's still just getting absolutely beaten. Rents have seemed to slow the rate at which they're falling, but they're still coming down. They went rapidly. If you look at stuff in Grand Paradiso, like the townhomes up there, I had a customer who was renting up there until they bought with me. And those townhomes were going for like $3,000, $3,300 a month. And now they have some of them up for $1,900 a month. And that was 8-9 months ago. It wasn't that long ago that they were that high. So this is how quickly and rapidly things are changing in the rental market down here. And I'm just going to wander around this lot one more time here because I think it's cool. But the question I get asked a lot, guys, is now a good time to buy? Is now a bad time to buy in Florida? I don't know. I can't tell you that. You know what I mean? Like, again, you're asking the guy who gets a paycheck if you buy a house, so consider the source. I can tell you in a lot of the areas, people are not buying. I don't know if you're buying the bottom, but I know you're not buying the top. So that's really all I can say. It's a personal decision. I can't sell you a house per se. I can show you homes. I can advise you on value, but I cannot be the guy to say, yes, this is the one, you got to do it. And I never will be. You know, I think that's, you guys kind of know that about me now. So it's hard for me to answer that question. I don't know. I'm not an economist. Like I've said, I don't have a crystal ball. Prices are still declining. Days on market is still going up. I can tell you that. You guys make those informed decisions yourself. You guys figure out if it's the time to buy for you. Some people feel this is the best time to buy. And based on the comments, some people feel this is the worst time to buy. So it's all about perception. But you don't want to get that answer from a guy in an American flag hat on YouTube. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. So let me know what you think about this lot. And if you like this video, give me a like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.